Hi everyone. Today I would like to share some information about my church and about how my worshiping and just the beliefs I have, is different from other denominations that other people worship and believe in. Um, since a young age, I grew up in southern Louisiana, so I've been taught um, what I know, since from an early age that, being either Baptist or Catholic is like the majority of what people worship. And then learned when I got to high school in Calvary, at Calvary Baptist Academy, that that was not the case, that there are a ton of more ways people worship and a lot more religions that people also believe in. But today I want to give you the ABCs of how my church differs from other churches and how they worship and what they believe in. So the A in the ABC stands for a cappella, which is the music part and the worshiping part of our church. In our church, we don't use any instruments. It is all a cappella. There's one guy up there singing, and the crowd sings with him. In the Bible, it doesn't say to whether to use instruments or not. It's really a preference, but the reason why my church doesn't use them is because in the early church, they did not have, the instruments that we have today. And also in the early church, the leaders of the church they opposed, using instruments during worship. And now I'm going to talk about the B, which is the baptism part. That is a sacred part of our church. That is how we show that we put our trust into Jesus Christ. And it's a really big thing in our church. And there are a lot of different forms of baptism that people do. But it says it all in the Bible about being baptized and saved. Peter talks about it in Acts. And it's just a sacred part of the Church of Christ, the church that I go to. And I want to give you a quote from Kyle Rye. He says, "The moment when you receive God's saving grace is the moment you emerge from the watery tomb of baptism." So the watery tomb, that can mean like being dunked on the water, like in a river, or being dunked on the water in like in a pool that like your church provides. It's all different types of stuff like that. And now I want to talk about the C, which is communion, which is also known as the Lord's Supper. This is like a memorial for Christ's death, that he paid for all our sins, and that differs what we believe in, because it differs from the day that it falls on. So the day that we celebrate communion is going to be on the first day of the week, and that could be different from other denominations or churches that worship this. It could be on another day of the week that it falls on, but this is just what I have been taught from when I was growing up, until now. So now that I know that other people worship differently, and I have more information on why they do, and now you have more information on how we worship and why we do it, just always keep in mind that people always do something differently, even when it comes to this. So just always be respectful to when it comes to this stuff, because people, it's really personal when you go up to someone and talk, and just you're open-minded and have an open conversation about this stuff. Just keep in mind about the information that you have about your denomination and belief, and just listen to what they have to say, and that way you'll have more information on both sides. So yeah, thanks.